billion plus Surfside settlement marks a milestone in the lawsuit over the deadly condominium collapse. It also reveals the role of real estate insurance and is a harbinger of premium hikes that could fancy word, man, reverberate across the industry. The insurance carrier had 31 entities that are contributing toward the $1.02 billion total disbursement. All who settled have denied any wrongdoing and liability. Interesting, right? Everybody denies wrongdoing and liability. And I'll let you take the lead on the rest because it's interesting to see, how we've had that major...
Well, like everyone had insurance. So, like, valet company.
Everybody.
No, but so if you were working as valet, the building came down and you died, that's an insurance.
Yeah, the liability insurance. Everybody who's involved, contractor,
the
vendor,
developers that were developing next door, Terra Group,
all of them
liable.
Now
this is changing everything.
Yeah,
across the board.
But it's crazy because while condo and project construction premiums were steadily rising before the Chaplin Tower South collapse last summer, killing 98 people, the cave-in sent condo association insurance costs skyrocketing and could push construction insurance premium even higher. That's a no-brainer. We all know that insurance premiums are going to go up once this occurs because it exposes, it's like anything else. Insurances are reasonable. The rates are reasonable until you make a claim.
Something out, right?
Yeah, until you make a claim. Go make a claim on your car insurance, for example. It's decent until you crash.
It's the best business there is.
Oh, dude, of course.
How do we get in the insurance business?
Yeah, I know, right? We're in the wrong business, It's kind of crazy because when you start reading about all this, nobody talked about liability insurance premium hikes until this occurs.
It says the settlement, which breaks down each contribution, is clear record of developers and construction companies' exposure in a deadly calamity. Insurers are looking and going, my God, if we touch something that has this type of issue, we are potentially going to have to pay out big money. Isn't that crazy? Just that, my God, if we touch something that this type of issue, we are going to potentially have to go. Isn't that insurance?
Of course.
That's how we think.
That's
right?
how we think. I'm making you a payment. How much I'm paying you?
We're like, oh my God.
Oh my God.
How do we mitigate this?
But what are you doing with the money I'm giving you?
They invest it in real estate.
Yeah, they invest in real estate, and then the real estate.
But hey, thank God for that though too.
Of course,
they do. They do invest this.
They do invest it. They get a higher return. But then again, the purpose of insurance is to provide you some kind of shelter in case something catastrophic occurs, right? Now, I don't expect to be paying more money after the catastrophe.
Yeah, but that's
just me, the consumer.
You think that.
You think that
but we
because
know that's different.
I agree, but it's like a car, and I would use car insurance as an example. Your insurance premium is great until you get into one car accident, and guess what? It spikes.
You're at risk.
Yeah, you're at risk now. It's like, wait a minute.
Because you used what you were
one
paying
claim.
for.
I've been paying for it. I make one claim, and then I get shafted.
You're at risk.
You're at risk. Yeah. And you're at-risk driver now. And this right here, now you're an at-risk developer.
It's kind of what happens in relationships too, right? Like you make one mistake.
Yeah. Well.
Your spouse is like,
hey, we don't have to go
We're
far.
no longer on that first tier. We're on the second tier now.
Our industry, you're as good as your last appraisal.
No, you're not. You always say that.
I always say that because
I don't believe you.
Because you know what?
I don't believe that
You can have a loyal client, and all it takes is that one report.
Yeah, but that's not what you're saying.
You're as good as your last appraisal.
To that client.
But that's what I'm going with.
No, but that's what you're saying.
It's the insurance company as well.
It's to that client, though.
Dude, if you have State Farm insurance and you're making your payments.
If Greystone's my client, and then my last appraisal was with Blackstone, and
no,
it has nothing to do with Greystone.
That's not what I'm going with.
That's what you're saying.
I'm talking about Greystone.
Yeah.
If I've been loyal to Greystone, I'm using them as an example, doing spot on reports. And that one report that they have a major disagreement with us, we can do a spot-on great assignment. There's a high probability, okay, We may not be taken off their list, but our volume can diminish.
Well, luckily, I've never felt that. And working for a beautiful company that we do as Colliers, I think across the board nationally, we don't feel that because our customer service is A+.
Listen,
but I can see what you're coming from.
Yeah, that's why I'm coming. I'm comparing it to the insurance industry.
But, okay, so this says, like, carriers still willing to insure will face less competition, so will be unafraid to increase premiums. In the past 6 to 9 months, many master condo associations saw premiums double.
Jesus.
And unit owners saw them rise as average of 30 to 40%, as much as 50%. But here's the thing, man. They weren't doing this. They weren't, like...
But this is old news, man. They all do it.
Says we're all going to be paying for the Chaplin Towers through our insurance companies for a while, said Torres, who founded the Astor companies. Developers opting to build oceanfront projects next to aging buildings will be hardest hit for insurance premiums, experts say. I don't think people understand this, and I didn't until I read this, is that when you have an older building on the beachfront, right, and then you buy the lot next door, or you demolish the building, and then you go to build a new high-rise, brand new 2022, right? And in Florida, we have the limestone that you're drilling into, and that affects all the buildings, the radius around you.
The vibration from the drilling and all that. And on top of that, you got the water table beneath all that.
So if you have, if you're a condo association who's been lacking on your
reserves, your engineering reports,
your reserves, your engineering reports,
yeah,
all that
absolutely.
Stuff, and you're just passing that through, and because no one wants to pay that, or no one wants to save on that, everyone wants to save on that, then you got a problem.
Of course, and I think, look, right here, developer Henry Torres, who the president of the board at Merrick Manor condo project that he's building in Coral Gables, the association insurance rate went up 75%, and he was anticipating 25%. So he's already anticipating an increase of 25%.
Says insurance companies just don't volunteer to pay $517 million for something. They would go out of business if they do that. The fact that it's an international organization, they could be sued for $1 billion themselves. James Dean Kluger, a real estate and litigation attorney in Miami, reiterated that no conclusions could be drawn from a settlement at some point. It's just adjusters in a room doing math. He said, our clients' insurers made a business decision to contribute to the overall settlement of this litigation in order to resolve claims against them and avoid the time, expense, and the inconvenience for litigation. I mean, this case still, it may not be smooth sailing. I don't know, put in their name, but most likely... They had this one thing that I wanted to read right here. Yeah. Workarounds. Developers already had become accustomed to higher builders' risk and contractor-controlled insurance, which has risen an average of 25% annually across the U.S., with some policies up to 50 to 100%, according to the insurance information. So, but condo insurance also rose.
Yeah, but then again, this goes back to what I just said earlier about the developer in the Gables. He was expecting a 25% increase. Not 75. At the end, where does it become highway robbery with these insurance companies? Where they know you need them. They know there's a limited supply of insurance carriers who are willing to underwrite to your project.
Well, it says right here, yeah. Yet not everyone is convinced insurance costs are increasing because of the Surfside collapse. Last year was one of the most expensive years on record for insurance companies because of a handful of global catastrophes.
But what are these global catastrophes that cause insurance premium?
Well, the thing is that it's the negligence.
Exactly. So...
of the operator or the condo associations. I mean, it's not just the insurance companies. I get that the insurance companies are going to increase, and they're taking but it's the
sad part is they're taking advantage of a catastrophe to hike up the rates for everybody else, right? They're taking advantage of it. That's how I view it. One thing is to do your traditional 20, 25%. If you want to even go to 30%, okay. But when you start getting into that 75, 100% increase, simply because a tower went down, which we all know is a catastrophic event. Once in a, I mean, my God, if you want to really get down to it, it's almost a generational thing because it had never really happened before here in Dade County, right? And because of that one event, where we could all point the fingers at everybody. You can say the guy next door was drilling in the limestone that caused part of the tower to go down. You can say the condo association didn't have enough in reserve to cover the retrofitting the building to retrofit the structure. You know, there's a lot of finger pointing here.
Stop. That's a big deal, man.
It is, but the point
that's a big. It's
all a big deal.
If you have a condo board that's not, you know, managing correctly and not allocating reserves or funds correctly and not having or administering the right reports with engineering yearly or you know, I don't know how every 5 years or 30-year, 40-year certification, right? If they're not doing that correctly or being transparent about it, then the insurance company is taking the grunt of that.
I agree, but let me ask you.
They're insured, right? So the insurance company is saying, like, we believe in this tower, we believe in this location, we believe in the people that
are running it,
operating it, right?
Yeah, but let me ask you this.
But they're not. This is my problem of they're not qualified to be running these associations.
But prior to this tragedy, you live in a condo. Did you pay attention to the reserves? Did you pay attention to what's going on with?
No, but I am aware of it now, and I'm also joined the board of my condo association in Fort Pierce.
What triggered it?
And also, I wasn't aware that, like, look, I live in a condo building on the water, and there's construction going on a couple buildings south of us. I wasn't aware that could impact the building that I live in. I was completely not aware of that.
Yeah.
And I don't think most people are.
No. And it's sad that it took an event like this to open people's eyes. But you know what's interesting about all this? Nothing. Well, let's look at the state for this government, for example. Has any changes been made? It's been a year. Has any regulation been put in place as far as reserves? I'm out of it because I don't own a condo.
It is. It's all going on right now. Okay. That's why this is being talked about. This is a major article right now. It's a major article because it's not only talking about insurance or talking about lawsuits, but it's also talking about developers. So if you're a developer and you buy a lot, right, on the ocean, which there's not many of them in South Florida, and you are able to buy the lot and secure the financing and you know what I mean? Like, you beat out the other bidders, and now you have this lot, and maybe you have aged condo towers.
And you budgeted for insurance for a particular amount, and now
it's different.
And now it's different. Yeah, but it
and developers have to develop. That's what they do.
It's sad.
And plus population's increasing, so we need them.
Yeah, but you know what's going to happen here is the insurance premiums are going to continue to keep on skyrocketing, and what's going to be attributing to all this as well. Now, people are going to be forced. Condominiums associations are going to be forced to do the 40-year recertification. They're going to be forced to now tell the insurance companies, this is what we're finding. Insurance companies now are going to turn around and say, well, now you're at risk. We're going to increase your premiums. And then the consumer is going to pay for it on the HOA dues.
Well, listen, if you don't want to stay in a condo, right?
Yeah.
All I can tell you is, since 2019 in Miami, hotel rates have gone up 56%.